Yeah, and let me quickly start with myself. So I kind of have two passions. One passion is to build businesses, and I luckily had the opportunity to try to build successful tech startups. And my second passion is to be in nature with friends, do sports, and actually when traveling the world for that, that picture was taken in Brazil. I really felt how the climate is changing, how the world is changing, and in the end, I want my kids to be able to enjoy the same blue planet as I do. And I figured, I mean, just building business is one thing, but how can I build business without tackling the real problems? And Ivo just said it. So greenhouse gas emissions are coming 26% from the food segment, and the majority of that is proteins. So protein is one of the big problems we have. And then we founded MicroHarvest and built it the fastest protein production system. And actually how we do it is we are one of the examples, Ivo mentioned, most startups talk about it, but we really take side streams. There's no kilogram produced of MicroHarvest which is not derived from agri-food side streams. We take side streams and we take microorganisms from nature. Microorganisms are already used for many years for food production, you know it from cheese, from kimchi, from yogurt. And we take exactly these natural microorganisms, put them together with a side stream into a process which is similar to a brewery. So you can imagine kind of a very efficient brewery, and then inside the brewer reactor, we grow the microorganisms, and the product which comes out, as Eva mentioned, is then the protein, which is healthy and nutritious, and that protein can be used along the whole value chain. So, of course, we heard the example, and we talk about food today, but it's more than just food. We have a rapidly growing pet food industry. If you know a dog that eats sustainable, then you are in a tiny bubble. It's possible to be in a tiny bubble in Germany, but in the rest of the world it's not. And also in Germany, most dogs eat non-sustainable proteins. So it's a growing demand also there. And then, of course, as a feed, today we fish to then shred it, produce fish meal, feed it to fish, make less fish out of it, and then eat less fish. So it's a cycle which is unbelievable, knowing that we are already at the limits of our oceans, and that's exactly the markets that we are addressing. So because we are a B2B ingredients industry, we are producing a powder like you see on the image. We are able to really address the whole value chain. And three takeaways for MicroHarvest: smaller, better, faster. Smaller is focusing on the environmental impact. So we have 98% less CO2 emission than animal-derived proteins, 2 to 3 times less than plant-based proteins. So environmental impact is really something where we are tackling, of course, less water use, of course, less land use, but not compromising the product quality. So we have the full amino acid profile, all essential amino acids, very good digestibility and taste. So we heard it from Ivo, if we want to have products on the market, it's also about really the end product quality, and it's a challenge with today's proteins. So the taste has a super important role in the future, or already now. And the third one is the faster, which is then focusing on the production process. So we have a production process which allows to do it that efficient. And that's, for me, the most exciting part, because we already scaled it. So we are at a scale to produce 1 ton per day, which is equivalent for 3,000 chickens. So it is already having impact, but the next step is to really build our own production, which is then at a lot bigger scale. So that is already a technology. It is happening now. It is technology-wise scaled. And that is the team behind it. So it's much more than just me. So all of us share this vision, and I'm looking forward to discuss this whole topic. And please join us, scan this code, and follow us changing the whole protein system.
Cool.
Thank
you. Wow. First one on time today, I think. Thank you. You had the slide faster.
All about
faster. I was wondering, is cheaper missing? How is it in terms of pricing? Can you tell us how the protein powder you produce, like, can it catch up or keep up with the prices of the imported soy that we were discussing a few minutes ago?
Yeah, so the faster is kind of the answer. So our process is very efficient. We use cheap raw materials. So agricultural side streams are, of course, of a lower value than if you need to use sugar. So
I'm always
if you need to use sugars or any other of these materials. But the way we import soy or fish meal today is at prices which are non-sustainable. I mean, we cannot compete at Europe, and in the end, it's also a thing. If we don't produce local at some stage, then we are dependent on food. And I mean, BYD is now the biggest electrical vehicle producer. All right, let's import cars. So we screwed up there, but in food, it's not possible to screw it up, because if they stop supplying, what do we do? So without cars, we can survive. Without food, we cannot. So
it is a challenge to keep up with the prices, but you have other clients then.
So if you compare to soy, for example, in nutritional value and taste, so a perfect example for soy is fish food. So in fish food, soy is cheap, so you will increase the maximum amount of soy always, but you come to limits where the fish is not anymore digesting it. So it's really about the nutritional value and the digestibility. And when it comes down to digestibility, it's cheaper to include us than to over-include soy. So the answer in the different market segments is complex, but we are cheaper when you look at the whole picture, but we are not cheaper if you just look at purely protein content, not considering what is really in nutritional value and what proteins are in.
Understood. Thank you, Jonathan. See you later. I think you will be here a little bit.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.